ESPN, and the visitors are the Fighting Illini, who trounced Duke a couple of weeks ago in a huge early game in Big Ten play. We thank you for joining us. This is the broadcast team most appealing with masks on in basketball and maybe in TV. Dan Dockett, Jason Benetti along with you. How about the Big Ten right now, Double D?
Well, let's go through it. You have 7 teams in the top 25. You have 10 players in the Wooden Watch, 10. And is this going to be the first time since the Big Ten wins a title since 2000? I don't know. You see both Michigan State, Illinois went into Cameron Indoor and got a victory. There's a lot of star power in this game. Ayo Dosunmu for Illinois, I think the best guard in the country. He is 9th in the country in scoring, and Ron Harper Jr. is 6th in the country in scoring. This is a heck of a matchup, Jason Benetti.
This is one of those games, and everybody wishes there were crowds everywhere right now, but this is one of those games you wish this trapezoid of terror was screaming, because it's one of the greatest venues in college basketball. We are underway at the Rack in Jersey, and we're so happy to be with you. Good to see your face, by the way. Nobody's ever said that, but it really is.
Yeah, nobody has, not even my wife. I'm going with the thumb look this year, and Illinois is going inside right now.
Kofi Cockburn carving out space as he does for the opening 2.
Miles Johnson is going to be huge in this game. He does not start for Rutgers. He is a very good post defender. He's going to have to guard that because it's obvious what Illinois wants to do.
Paul Mulcahy getting the start for Rutgers. Geo Baker will come off the bench. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. And Dan, it's going to be interesting to see how Illinois plays when Rutgers goes 2 bigs. They could stay 4 guards. They could go 2 bigs themselves. Late shot clock. Ron Harper Jr. off the step back. No, too strong. Here's Ayo Dosunmu, who very easily could be the Big Ten Player of the Year, depending on how things go for Luka Garza and Iowa, among others. He gives it up there to get an open look for 3 from the wing, and it's 5-0 Illinois.
Oh, I love Frazier. I tell you what, Trent Frazier, when he was a freshman, was the guy here for Illinois. Made huge shots late. He's capable of getting 15 to 20 anywhere in the country.
You see how connected Illinois is. They're so used to playing with one another as DeMonte Williams has the steal. Dosunmu along step. That's off Mulcahy and recovered by Ron Harper Jr. Jacob Young, the Texas transfer, got into the body of Cockburn. That's a second chance. 1-on-2 down low for Cliff Omoruyi.
Omoruyi is a freshman. Omoruyi has exceptionally long arms and an exceptional toughness to him. He's a kid, you mentioned going high-low, and I mentioned Miles Johnson. They will play together because both of them are skilled enough to play together. It's a little bit why Georgi Bashanesvili and Cockburn don't play together, because Bashanesvili isn't really capable of stretching the defense. It's just effort, man. It's just a big guy, big freshman, timing it up, best jump. He'll get stronger. Maybe he'll get a 3-point play.
And by the way, I'm going to be the first in this telecast to say don't at me, which is a shock. But don't at us. It is Omoruyi. We asked him through Rutgers before the ball game. He's changed his name pronunciation a couple times, but it is Omoruyi. So stay with us, Rutgers fans.
Yeah, at me about other stuff, not that.
Oh, people can at you today,
no,
huh?
Don't at me.
Okay, I was just checking. Here's Adam Miller, the freshman guard for Illinois. Now Williams, they go 4 around in the guard spot for Brad Underwood, his best team so far at Illinois. And Williams cans the jumper. It's a strong start for the Illini.
That is huge. Tell you why. Mulcahy was playing off of Williams. They were going to make Williams make a shot and use Mulcahy as the help guy on the post.
He's 11 for 17 from 3 this year, Dan.
He's very good both ends. The improved shooting has improved Illinois immensely.
That Illinois bench is having a fiesta. Look at them.
They are. They're right here, all right? 2 guys go with the ball. That's fine. They recover short, not really to take the shot away, and Williams drilled it. Earlier in that possession, Mulcahy was the help guy on Cockburn to take him away.
Ayo Dosunmu carving against Omoruyi, and the rebound down for Ron Harper Jr., one of the leaders for Rutgers. Here is Young, and he scored.
I'm telling you, Young in transition is every bit as good and crafty as Dosunmu. Terrific.
Oh, Oh, Kofi Coburn rams it home.
Somebody's got to come out of the game. I guarantee you, Omarui is coming out of the game. There it is. Johnson's coming in. He didn't run the floor. He jogged and Coburn sprint.
Steve Peichel, by the way, he got no time for that.
No. That's how he's built this program. There's accountability, and you got to be tough.
He's done a remarkable job. The Jim Calhoun disciple from UConn. Jumper no good. Rutgers looks like it's forcing. Illinois looks smooth early.
Rutgers looks like it's shook by the energy and excitement and enthusiasm of Illinois' bench.
Yeah, you talk about providing your own energy in an empty arena. Goodness gracious. Little wraparound. Coburn had it deflected out of bounds, and Illinois will have 18 to shoot. How good is the Big Ten? I mean, we're in an empty arena, and we are off the court by a long way. I'm charged up for this. You can feel it coming off the court.
These two teams, you mentioned the word connected earlier. They are as connected as any. Jason, in the game at Maryland, first half, Rutgers goes on a 10-0 run. All 5 of the baskets were hard penetration, find your teammate at the rim. It is a connected, unselfish group, and Illinois is the exact same way, no different.
Andre Curbelo has checked in. There's an Illinois turnover, and there's the free-running Rutgers Scarlet Knights down the other way to get the 2 from Montez Mathis.
What a great pass. That's what I'm talking about. You get a conversion, you get penetration. Both of these teams will find the right guy.
People are going to think you're doing the game on a delay after you called that out and it happened right away. Georgie had it pinned, and Mathis sticks it to the backboard.
Being in the right place at the right time. Mathis just came in from behind. Georgie Bashanishvili didn't see him. Watch Mathis, number 10. That's what has made Rutgers really good, Jason. I swear to you, they always make the right play.
Oh, and a 3 from the wing. Mathis, who they might start calling suction cup if he keeps pinning balls to the backboard like that. Knocks down a 3, he's got 5. Oh, jeez. Margie. I was going to say I missed you, but I don't know. Trent Frazier, open look, no dice. Rebound for Miles Johnson. The big who comes off the bench, but he really could start for Rutgers.
I think he is terrific. Look at this. He is so crafty, Young. His dad was like that. Michael Young played at Houston when I was in college. Phi Slamma Jamma. His dad had all that kind of game, and it's fun to see his son doing the same kind of thing.
You know, Reed Geddes is watching his former teammate's son, Bashanishvili, for 2 on the second chance.
Reed Geddes used to come in and deliver the ball to Elijah Drexler, Benny Anders. Oh. Michael Young was good. Mr. Mean, Larry Michaud.
You could pile up some assists doing that, by the way.
Yeah,
and he did.
Throw it ahead and they'll dunk.
Now Reed's a big-time attorney. More big-time than we are. Little step back for Ron Harper Jr., who's scoreless so far, and a foul on over the back. I got to tell you, if it's going to be like this, strap in, because it's going to be real fun. We're going to go back to 1991 and revel in the fact that Dan Dawkins had hair at some point. What do Dances with Wolves, Silence of the Lambs, and Terminator 2 have to do with Rutgers basketball? You'll find out with us. Has just come out, Super Mario World. I know one of your favorites, Beauty and the Beast, which is very much what people normally call this telecast. They just can't decide which is which. Nice to see you, Dan Dockett.
You know, Rutgers is going to make the tournament. It would have made the tournament last year. And Steve Peichel reminds me of John Bila. When you talk to them, you know, they're teachers, right? They're guys that just teach the game and have a patience about them. I'm sure Steve gets, you know, fired up in practice, but that guy right there has done as good a job as anybody in the country building this program to where I think it's going to stay in the top 25 for as long as he's around.
Steve Peichel said he was thinking about going to Europe to play more basketball, and Jim Calhoun made him the offer to become a coach. He wasn't really thinking about coaching, but Jim Calhoun invited him on the staff at Connecticut. He jumped in, and now he's a head coach at Rutgers, and he has absolutely rebuilt this program. Oh, pass fake from Curbelo. Got himself an open look, and he missed.
Yeah, really good pass fake, but good defense. Make Curbelo shoot that.
We got a picture of you from 1991. We're going to sneak in here at some point just to prove that you did have hair. As Desumu's got a steal for Illinois.
That's a very handsome man.
Past tense, though, I heard.
I'm a thumb.
Bashanishvili against Johnson, and that's going to be 3 seconds.
I'm telling you, Johnson impacts games. He is the best I've seen at rebounding with full extension. Bill Walton is, in my opinion, the best ever to do that. But watch number 15 in white.
He dealt with a lot of injuries in high school. There you see.
Look at those slacks.
Are you like setting up for a massage there?
Yeah, I told Coach Knight, hey, you got a bad left shoulder? Let me give you a little rub.
You a little tight?
Sure.
Coach? He would never be tight on the sideline.
I used to root for him to get thrown out. I used to be the head coach.
You were looking for the interim numbers?
I got 3 additional numbers if I was Coach K.
Oh, I love it. That's 3-on-1. Johnson wants to take it himself and does!
Man, Johnson just fumbled, stumbled. Next thing you know, he showed the ball. Kids, when you're big, even if it goes awry, just show the ball, and I guarantee you the opposite big man will jump and you'll get something clean.
Easy as that, huh?
I'm telling you, yeah, with bigs.
Illinois looking to drive and kick, but not to the perimeter, to the paint. There's a lot of look on wraparound passes so far, as Bishanishvili wants to go to work. Maybe a little pride at stake here. Bishanishvili scores with the left.
That's bad defense. That's Bishanishvili's move on the left block. Miles Johnson has to jump on his right shoulder. You cannot let Bishanishvili do that. That's actually his only move.
How about the recovery defense there by Illinois on Harper? Man, Illinois is playing with fashion. Yeah.
Here's what Illinois does. When they're in help side, their body is in help side, but their mind is back to their man, which enables you to do what Frazier just did. When the ball is in the air, if your mind is getting back to your man, you're moving as the ball's in flight. You're not reacting after the ball comes to your man. You're moving on the ball. It's great action, and Brad Underwood teaches it as well as anybody.
To that point, Brad Underwood told us this morning, we're trying to simplify the defense. We have good enough defensive players. We might have been overdoing it a little bit schematically, and Frazier was the guy who told him that.
Well, he's not wrong. And really, you get to help side, have your brain the other way, and sprint to recover.
The trailer 3. That's a splash down for Ayo Dosunmu.
You cannot let Ayo Dosunmu play in the middle of the floor.
Why?
Because he is the most comfortable guy in college basketball, shooting it, driving it left, driving it right, finishing over, finishing around, or getting fouled.
Geo Baker's checked into the game, one of the best players for Rutgers. He's been dealing with an ankle injury as Mulcahy, the Jersey kid, scores going window.
Hey, anybody that wears a Will Ferrell headband, we're all in on.
Hey, he looks like Hervé Lamazana, who has one of the biggest shots ever in the rack against Syracuse, the championship season 2003. He got the headband going. Oh, step through by Curbelo wouldn't go, and now Rutgers in transition.
He's going to get it. Nope.
Oh, he was flaring. Instead, the lob goes awry. Mulcahy was open. He wanted it back.
Mulcahy was wide open, and they should have got him the ball. You cannot let Dosunmu play in the middle of the floor, I'm telling you. This kid is the best guard, two-way guard in college basketball, and he's even more dangerous in the middle of the floor.
Slugger and the Steelers have a big one in Cincinnati. They're just trying to get back on track. They've lost 2 in a row. Game behind the Chiefs for the AFC bye. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. In football, by the way, Illinois has made a big hire. Brett Bielema coming back to the Big Ten. I know Illinois fans are trying to get used to that because they never liked Bielema in Madison. But good hire.
Great hire. Look, it didn't work out with Lovie Smith. You've got a guy that in the Big Ten, at least at Wisconsin, you see it, 3 Big Ten championships. Knows how to recruit the area, very well respected, guy from Illinois. Fantastic, Josh Whitman getting it done.
You get the feeling that Greg Schiano is going to have Rutgers better in football soon, too.
What a great hire. You know what, I mean, when he was going to go to Tennessee, everybody complained. There's an old saying, when you listen to fans as a coach or an AD, you end up sitting with fans.
Sounds like it's by experience.
It is.
Rutgers down 4. The Scarlet Knights have not led, looking for their first NCAA tournament since '91. They're going to get a whistle before the Baker 3 on a screen against Rutgers.
Yeah, that was an old-time set. Inside cut, and then there was a double down away, getting Baker at the top of the key, and the referee saw Ramaruyi. He said it 15 different ways. Ramaruyi. That's what we're going with.
He's changed it officially today. So it is Rutgers fans. It's Ramaruyi.
Yeah. Well, he slid a little bit in setting the screen.
That's his second personal, by the way, which could be key. We'll see how much he plays as Coburn goes bulldozing by for 2.
Yeah, he can't handle Coburn. That's why I said earlier, Miles Johnson's going to have to impact this game. Amaruyi went into Coburn with his body, and Coburn read it, and Chris Webber spun off him. I mean, the Chris Webber spin to the baseline was quick by Coburn.
Nobody with Minnesota could handle Kofi Coburn the other night. That was a disaster for the Gophers, as there's a missed 3 from the wing from Mulcahy. And here comes Ayo Dosunmu scanning and looking and into a 2 that's no good.
It is very subtle right there, but Harper did a good job keeping Dosunmu out of the middle. Watch Coburn here. Watch the defender, Amaruyi, go. He took his body into Coburn, got off balance. Watch right there. He went into him, tried to elbow him. You can't do that. You've got to keep your feet spread, your hands above your elbows, and move your feet and make Coburn shoot over you, not around you.
Yet another place in the Big Ten that's got a marking that says Kofi was here. Take away for Illinois, the other direction for a free 2 for Frazier.
Frazier's so good. That was just quick. Harper, very lackadaisical on the pass. He just threw it to a white shirt. He didn't throw it away from the blue shirt.
Trent Frazier may soon be the best Frazier to ever be in the rack. Sorry, Todd.
Boy, that hurts. That cuts deep right there. It's T-Fraz, man. T-Fraz, I was walking around here, and you see Todd Frazier everywhere in this joint.
He is the man. The Fraziers run this place, by the way.
They do. They take people's lunch money.
I guarantee you he has at some point. Here's Trent Frazier on. It's a turnover, so Todd gets his crown back as best Frazier in the rack. There you are, Todd Frazier, one of the greats in Major League Baseball and one of the best guys in the history of the world.
He's on a little text chain, you, me, and him, for the last few years, and he is one of the funniest. Like the things he says just make you cry.
He's the best. He was a teenage heartthrob in Tom's River with the Little League World Series team, by the way.
He had the braces flying, the home runs going.
Oh yeah, it was a whole picture.
In Williamsport.
Montez Mathis been really active. Rutgers has not shot it well. A reload for Johnson on the kick out, and that open 3 is no good. And Mulcahy out of bounds. It's going to be Rutgers basketball.
You know, I think Rutgers is really excited. Their shots, as soon as they come out of their hand, they're long. They have missed badly. How good has he been? I mean, really.
Michael.
Yeah. You know, how do you get a kid from Texas to come here, right? Jacob Young, that's fantastic. He's been smart with his recruiting. The best evaluator that I saw in the Big Ten was John Beeline. He took guys, you know, Stauskas, Glenn Robinson, and made them into NBA draft choices and guys that stayed in the NBA. And Peichel, I swear, reminds me of that with his recruiting.
Duncan Robinson on that list,
oh,
too.
Yeah, no question.
Montez Mathis, he wanted to foul the whole way, and he got it with Rob Riley on the call.
You know what the most interesting thing without having fans is?
What's that?
How the game is officiated. Because officials are human beings, and anybody that's ever played or anybody that's ever coached knows that the difference between when you're at home and the officiating and when you're on the road and it's totally different. And I swear to you, not having home crowds makes going on runs harder because of the momentum for you and the momentum against.
There's ubiquitous Big Ten official Larry Scarrato, who's done 17 games this week.
I think he's got one this evening.
I think so, yeah.
In the Garden.
Boy, he's one of the best, Larry Scarrato.
My mother's calling me.
Hope everything's okay. Now, I'm going to get dinged on Twitter for the side conversation while you start it up. 8-point game. Under 9 to go first half. Rutgers unbeaten 5-0. Oh, back cut Curbelo.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Mathis just got caught staring at the basketball, and Curbelo planted his outside foot and whipped him.
Man, Illinois' bench is full of fury right now. Mulcahy, tough lob into the post. Johnson got the roll.
Johnson wanted that ball the entire time. Johnson has no respect for Bishanis-Vili's ability to guard him.
How do you see that?
You can just see he's screaming for it. Now, this isn't a 25-point-a-game guy. This is 8 points a game, and when you're screaming for the ball, that means you have no respect for the guy that's guarding you.
Foul on Young. Here's a backdoor cut.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Ball watching, head down. Head's got to be up, and on a swivel, Mathis got back cut. Corbello planted his outside foot and whooped him. Great pass as well, going to his left, Frazier.
That's got to be an awful feeling.
Terrible. It's like a defensive back, right? 50 yards down the field, and you know the ball's coming.
You look, and you're like, he was there.
What happened was,
Corbello nearly traveled. Got a kick out to the wing and a three for Demonte Williams. His second three.
Shooting like his daddy, man. Frankie Williams was great. Demonte Williams plays so hard on both ends. Good to see him rewarded hard work on his shot.
Powerhouse Peoria Manual. We played with Adam Miller for a year, actually. Geo Baker has his first bucket, and Rutgers is a different team when he's on the floor.
There's no question. Look at Johnson. I'm telling you, he is the guy. He's got to stay out of foul trouble because he can hang with Coburn.
It's going to be a reach-in foul against Illinois, and Miller, the freshman. Lead is 9. Ayo Dosunmu has done a lot off the court for Illinois. We'll tell you about him after this. He said he wants to turn his home state school around. That's why he said he was going to Illinois. And lo and behold, he's done it off the floor. He's done it on the floor. Brad Underwood was talking to us this morning about one moment in practice when some of the freshmen were going for a loose ball. Ayo dove on the floor to pick that loose ball up. And Brad Underwood said he got into the faces of those other players. Ayo did. And he said that's how we do it at Illinois. And Rutgers gets a three from the corner for Montez Mathis one more time. But you know it. I mean, you hear it all the time. When players are doing the policing, you're in great shape.
That is a coach's dream. Like, Adam Miller didn't dive. Adam Miller's Mr. Basketball, man. Adam Miller didn't do what you do at Illinois. And Ayo Dosunmu just let him have it, which, gosh darn, that's what every coach wants.
It's got to get you excited for the season when you hear something like that. As Baker thought about a three and then got denied. Illinois' perimeter defense been pretty good. Now Johnson was sizing up Coburn, and here come the Illini. Dosunmu leans in, and we got a whistle. Score it, and a foul.
Boy, I thought the defense got back there in pretty good shape. But Dosunmu did slow down. Watch. Great play by Corbello to poke it away. Dosunmu running. This is almost automatic. Nah, that's a good call. That's a very, very good call. Geo Baker tried, just didn't get set, and Dosunmu finished through contact. Going back to Dosunmu.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, he had the ball late at Michigan State. We were doing the game, and I made an idiotic comment like, well, this isn't going to end well, and he drilled it for the win. So we were at Big Ten Media Day, and he was so cool. He goes, hey, Coach, man, that was the great. Listen to a video, you know. And he was so cool with it.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, this stuff isn't that serious. And you got to have some fun with it. And he certainly did. Great set. Great set. Ball screen. And then Miles Johnson screened the screener, which was Ron Harper Jr. And Harper Jr. looked very comfortable shooting that one.
In rhythm totally. His first basket of the ball game, so 3 for Ron Harper Jr. and a 5-point lead for Illinois. Coburn just shucked away Johnson.
Yeah, but it's a different deal shooting over Johnson. A lot of respect for Miles Johnson from Kofi Coburn. It's not as easy as it is against the freshman.
Hey, every time Jacob Young touches the ball, it looks like he wants to get into the paint.
Yeah, and he can, yes. Well, his brother Joe was a good player, played with the Pacers, Houston, big scorer in college. Now he's overseas scoring about 80 a night in China.
Mathis gliding to the rim, missed his shot. Behind the back for Coburn into the front court. Frazier thought that pass was for him. This one is, and he's got 3.
All right, you're going to think this is nuts, but that's a big mistake. You can't run off of Frazier to Coleman Hawkins. Coleman Hawkins, the freshman, hasn't made a 3 all year. You've got to fake it, Hawkins, and stay with Frazier.
So you're saying over 50% from 3 is the guy you want to stick with?
I think so.
Harper looking for his shot now after the make earlier in rhythm on the last possession.
Illinois guarding simply by keeping their man in front of him. You got to shoot over Illinois.
Brad Underwood is one of my favorite practice coaches to watch as Dosunmu scores.
Where did he come from? The middle. No, I'm sorry. No, I was talking about Dosunmu. He was in the middle of the floor.
I was right, too.
I know.
Okay. At least 10.
He crossed wires.
Yeah, somebody dumped the water on our circuitry.
When you shoot the zesty burger sauce rapids on this new double cheeseburger papadilla, oh, you're gonna wanna capsize in that chunderdome of meat, cheese, and pickles. The new double cheeseburger papadilla and the return of double cheeseburger pizza. Papa John's.
So how is it?
Great.
Ayo DeSumo, it's like watching a harp. The musical instrument. It's so smooth. He glides.
I thought you were talking about my friend Dennis Hart. But you're right, he does glide. And I'm telling you, when he gets the ball in the middle of the floor and he's able to go either down the lane line or a little off either side, he's just so incredibly comfortable.
Lead is 10 for Ayo DeSumo, and Brad Underwood's got a whole list of things that he looks for in terms of leadership, but aggressive in everything we do is the thing I was talking about in practice. Those are high-intensity, volcanic practices.
You know, we've seen Brad coach his team tough, a lot like Tom Izzo. We've also seen Brad get so disgusted that he wouldn't talk to him in huddles. You know, Brad looks tough, mean on the sideline, but he is one of the nicest, best guys in college basketball, and one of the best coaches.
Ton of wisdom, too. He's got a lot up there.
This
Mathis.
I swear to you, watching the Maryland game, my hands are flailing as I'm going to talk about this. They make the right cut. Like Mathis from the left side wing read the defense, sprinted, made himself available, and got to the line. Watching games leading to this, I've not seen a better team at reading the defense off the ball and moving into the right area than Rutgers.
I want to dig a little bit into that in a moment, but I got to tell you first about the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, who nearly beat Cincinnati last night to take away the chance for Cincinnati to make the college football playoff, which we know was a pipe dream. Anyway, 8 Eastern time Monday, Tulsa and Memphis. Penny Hardaway's Memphis team beat them by 40 last year, the largest margin in the history of the rivalry. What makes a good, smart cut?
You see an opening, you don't stand. Hey, look, my guy, my defender has turned his head, so I'm going to cut to the ball, to the basket. Or my guy's overplaying me, I'm going to cut low. My guy is below me, I'm going to cut high. I'm telling you, Rutgers kids are really connected with this.
Tremendous coaches. Peichel, Underwood. Here's Jacob Grandison, who only plays a couple minutes a game. Now Frazier with 7.
Oh, back
Williams,
cut.
there's a back cut, a sharp bounce. Got it there for DeSumo. That is brilliant.
That really is. Same action. You're overplaying DeSumo, and Frazier this time with his right hand hits the cutting DeSumo.
This is surgical off-ball play.
Really great. Try not to watch the ball if you can.
Young flares it up. Oh, goodness.
That's a baller.
Yeah.
That's a dude that played against older brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, dads. Telling you.
That hardwood turned into a driveway real fast. Real fast.
Telling you.
And an offensive foul on the moving screen. Okay, take your eye off the ball.
Yeah, look, don't watch the ball. Watch off the ball. There's your back cut by DeSumo. Fantastic. I mean, so good. But now with the ball, man, Joe Young just can get it in. He can just make baskets.
So can Jacob.
Yeah, him too. Yeah.
Doctors talking about the movement off ball is really helping. 11 assists on 15 made field goal for the Illini.
Think about Illinois right now. They can beat you in transition. They want to score in the first 7 seconds, but they can also beat you in the half court with their execution, and it's the maturity. But hey, Dan, I got to ask you a question. Who's the best cutout at the rack today? I mean, like, who is it? The boss there? Who's there? Come on, give me a rundown.
Well, we love the Sopranos.
We got Paulie Walnuts in one of them.
We got T. Fraz, our boy, Todd Frazier, Vital, Valvano.
It's a loaded. It's
your
a loaded
family, your faith, and Rutgers basketball.
Seth, I love when Seth says, I got to ask you a question. Like somebody's forcing him to ask you a question. I love that. One of my favorite things. Frazier, no sir. Mulcahy and his headband, the rebound. Montez Mathis has been really active in this first half for Rutgers. And he was trying to slice through the paint. He got fouled. Oh! We got, hey, I got you that chair from the Sharper's Image.
Oh,
so good.
man.
Gandolfini, the late James Gandolfini, is a Rutgers alum.
Yes.
And he's got the whole family there. I mean, I finally watched the show during the height of the beginning of the pandemic. It's one of the greatest acting performances in the history of the world. So sad that we lost him, a great Rutgers alum.
You finally watched it?
Yeah. Took a while.
What, NPR was...
Got ran out of fresh air episodes. You're unbelievable. I liked it better when we were at home.
Yeah. We got you watching Veep?
Got a little Veep going on.
Man, I'm telling you, this freshman...
Oh, Kofi again. Kofi was there.
Kofi wants to eat when the freshman comes in. I'm telling you, he is begging for the ball, and you could make the argument, as Steve Peichel is, that it was an offensive foul. Watch under the bucket. Let's see if there's a shove. No.
Nope. Hey, there's a little shack there in the way he handled smaller guys in the NBA.
Yes, you can't penalize a guy just because he's big and people bounce off of him. I'm telling you, there is a lot of shack. And you know what I like about this kid? He works at his game really hard, and he's not trying to be something he isn't. This dude knows he's big, so he's going to go be big.
And that's hard sometimes, right? Some big guys do not play big.
Oh, look, rappers want to be basketball players want to be rappers. Big guys want to be guards want to be big guys. I mean, it's the way of the world.
Pitchers want to be hitters want to be pitchers. Same
Singles hitters want to hit home runs, right? I mean.
And broadcasters want to be coaches?
No.
That's over? No. That avenue of joy has been barricaded?
No. And vaulted.
Lead is 10. Rutgers, last time they were in the NCAA tournament, 1991. A Final Four team back in 1976. They lost to your Hoosiers. There's a three for Jacob Young.
People don't realize this, but that was an undefeated Final Four team. Phil Sellers, Dabney, Eddie Jordan. I mean, that was a great team. Coach Young, Dick Vitale was the guy who recruited some of them, then he left. Look how good he is. I don't care if he missed it. That's just good.
Oh, Geo Baker off the tip from Mulcahy. Harper is open for three.
That's what you do against Illinois. You got to try to score quickly to get them off of their defense, meaning you keep the ball pressuring at the rim. Make Illinois scramble, not set.
How fun has this game been so far?
This would be incredible if we had the rack crowd in here.
Dosunmu.
Court, he'll make it. Yep.
They're going to wave it off. No basket. Watch Mulcahy here off the tip.
Yeah, headband and all. He just keeps playing, finds the ball, and just keeps battling. And the extra pass, and this is a layup for Ron Harper Jr. It's a layup for Ron Harper Sr.
That's a talented family. By the way, Paul Mulcahy looks a little bit like Chicago Sports Talk host Danny Parkins. Do a side-by-side at home if you care to. Rutgers down 4, has never led in this first half. And on the attack, Young missed it a little early in the possession. Dosunmu, no, out of bounds off of Johnson.
You know, Dosunmu had one more dribble in the lane. Sometimes I don't think he understands how much bigger and longer he is. Like, he can go into lane even if there's a semi-big guy there, and there really isn't other than Miles Johnson. He could go in the lane, lift up over people instead of settle for the jump shot.
Instead of shying away from the paint?
I don't think he shies away from it. He will go in, but there are times when he's on the wing that he could continue on, even though there's a big guy there.
High-low Coburn from Bishanishvili. Oh, Mulcahy pinned it.
What a play by Mulcahy. Mulcahy comes from about 5 to 6 feet out of the lane, sprints, and just says the heck with this. Watch him. He's out of the lane. See how far he is? Now here he comes on a sprint, and he just jumps and gets the ball.
Hey, he's got a little Eric Devendorf going on. Mulcahy does. In the corner, Frazier.
Right corner. I'll take Frazier shooting that shot over anybody shooting any other shot in the country. I'm telling you, that kid is death on the right corner.
Why is that, location-wise?
He just left-handed. He just sees the basket there.
Curbelo for Dosunmu. That's no good. And now Young ahead of the field against Frazier. Frazier was set, and they're going to get a foul against Frazier.
Frazier was set, and Young did a good job. Anytime you jump sideways, you generally eliminate the charge, and it becomes a block. Frazier set. Watch the sideways jump.
See, I think that's good defense, Dan.
I think it's really good defense, and I think referees are just not going to give you that call when you jump sideways. It's great defense.
So you're saying it's like it's a life hack a little bit for a guard, right? If you jump sideways, you get yourself the foul call.
If you go straight, that's the easiest call in basketball. You're underneath. I'll tell you one thing I don't get. I don't get people that want to eliminate the charge in basketball. I think the charge is a toughness. It's a defensive positioning move. It's a hustle play. I'm a big fan of the charge.
And you're the coach, I'm not, but it seems like it's one of those things, if you encourage players to do it, they'll do other hustle things too.
No question. Like, just getting there for Frazier was hustling, sprinting, getting his head, getting into position. He has to get outside of the arc. He's got to get there by hustling, understand the rules, and then be tough enough to stand in there. I absolutely love the charge.
Yeah, it's not about the charge itself. It's about the things that go into.
Right, I get all that. It's a tough call. There's some flopping. Okay, but I'm telling you, that play by Frazier, there was nothing wrong with that play.
Lead is 4 for Illinois. If you've not been to the rack, and after the pandemic is over, you can have the opportunity to do it. It is one of those arenas. They built it in order to encase it in sound. I mean, it's trapezoidal for a reason, and the sound starts to bang off the roof, and it becomes a raucous deal.
You know, I got here early yesterday, and I drove around, and you see all the people there, man. It's pretty cool. It's the one place that I have seen on television that they filled up the entire section. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of places are filling up just 3-4 rows. That entire section is filled with students and alumni and donors, famous people.
Do they have the Looking Glass over there? The famous group that was born here at Rutgers from the Brandy fame?
I told you, mate. Great school coach, Steve Homner, wrote that song, Brandy, sold it to Looking Glass, who went to Rutgers for $1,500, which was a lot of money back in the early 70s, and it became a #1 hit.
That's amazing.
Steve Homner. Everybody in Northwest Indiana is nodding their head right now, saying, yep, he did.
And we all do our best to understand. Like Brandy.
I've got a braided chain.
When were you in the north of Spain? Curbelo at the free throw line. And the first one is good. He'll get a second one. 8 Eastern tomorrow night in the American Conference on ESPN2 and the app. Tulsa on the road to take on Penny Hardaway in 5 and 3 Memphis. A little revenge deal for Tulsa after last year's throttling.
Memphis, I did 2 of their 3 games in South Dakota, and they come out and, man, they look like a terrific team. They're very disappointing. They lost 2 games there, but I think Memphis is going to be terrific as the season moves on. They've got everything you need, including last year. They had the best defense in the country in terms of field goal percentage defense.
Lead is 6 here for Illinois. Rutgers has never led at 5-0. Young decides to take it off the bounce. Oh! He was on the gas pedal, and they get 2 and a foul on the follow from Johnson.
Miles Johnson cleared out Coburn, and we're on a direct line. It opened up like a running back through a monstrous hole. Look at this hole it goes through. And then Johnson kept playing, and you see the great hands by Miles Johnson. That hole opened up. Oh!
Jacob Young wanted to be on like dorm room walls with that drive. Instead, you see how fired up he was though for Johnson after the make?
Johnson, we said it from the beginning. He, good or bad, he's going to have influence in this game. He has to if Rutgers is going to win.
Man, this is everything we thought it was going to be through 19 and change with Illinois up by 4 in a tight one in Jersey.
See, Bashanas-Vili's in there. Look at Mulcahy, number 4. He has to be to the ball.
Now to Coburn. There it goes.
Now he's got a double.
It didn't come. Coburn denied by Johnson. Coburn at the buzzer, and they're going to wave it off. No foul, and we will go to halftime. Oh, man. Rutgers,
A
Illinois.
little difference trying to shoot over Miles Johnson.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of difference.
He affects the shot, as they say. I know Seth Greenberg's ready. I know Sean and Dallin are too. To the crew in the studio for halftime. Lady Liberty in the foreground, and we are just off of her shadow in New Jersey, where Rutgers and Illinois have played a mighty fine first half. 41-37. Rutgers has never led, but a great ball game so far at the top of the Big Ten. As we welcome you back into the rack, Jason Benetti, Mr. Clean understudy Dan Dockich. And you take a look at this game, Dan, first half, so much good basketball, sharp basketball play off the ball.
Yeah, both teams really understand one another, and they're very, very connected. Now, we've got some stars in this game, and whoever picks it up as a star, that's who's going to win this basketball game. Here's one of them, Ayo Dosunmu, who's the 9th leading scorer in college basketball. The other one, Kofi Cockburn. Now, he abused a poor freshman. Miles Johnson has been really good, though, coming in. And on the other end, here we go. Jacob Young has been dynamite in the open floor. Now, need more out of Ron Harper Jr. He's only got 6. He's averaging 23. I look for him to try to take this game over at some point on the offensive end for Rutgers.
You know, he had a couple open looks that didn't go down for him. He was 2 for 7 from the floor in the first half, Ron Harper Jr. As here we go, second half, Rutgers trying to get to 6-0.
One of the problems Ron Harper Jr. has is the guy guarding him, Williams, is an excellent defender, maybe the best in the league.
Always had big-time buy-in defensively, Demonte Williams. Mulcahy against Dosunmu, tries to take him to the rim. Mulcahy stops and he bumped him and a travel call.
That's why I always talk about make a guy score over you, not around you. And Dosunmu just moved his feet, gave ground, and forced a turnover by just being between his man and the basket.
Saw Ron Harper Jr. in his scoring, his dad with those 5 NBA titles in his pocket with the Bulls, with the Lakers, and now Kofi Cockburn again. He's got Omoruyi on him, and that was all Cockburn in the first half. Mulcahy helped.
Mulcahy did a great job. He just straight left Williams and went and doubled on the big fella. Ron Harper Jr.'s dad gave me 36 in Assembly Hall in 1984.
So wait, you guarded Jordan better than you guarded Ron Harper Jr.? Jacob Young cans 2 more. He's got 13, and he's got that look in his eye like he's going to win the game if he gets a chance.
Yes, he does. You're exactly right. He does have a great look about it.
Dosunmu moving without the ball to the corner. He hasn't seen it yet. And that's denied. Here comes Rutgers. Montez Mathis steps through, and he got fouled.
Boy, that was terrific by Mathis. The ball was given to him. Okay, not great. He didn't have a lot of an advantage going to the rim. Watch this jump through right here. All right, Frazier's back. Little hop. And he draws the foul. That is terrific patience by Mathis. Like a running back. Last night I saw the kid Najee Harris. Oh, my gosh.
Alabama.
Yeah, he would jump cut into the hole. That's exactly what Mathis did there.
You got that as a legal jump stop?
I do, because I'm totally confused on what's legal and what's not, Jason.
I'm glad you were honest there,
yeah,
because I agree.
I see the Euro step, I see a hop through, then a step.
The feet are supposed to come down at the same time. His were very slightly staggered, but we've seen a lot worse not good calls.
Yeah, I'm going to give that just a good call all the way around, play on.
I'm not trying to be the fun police here. I'm just saying.
I'm with you. I'm confused. I crab steps.
I got a shellfish allergy. You don't need that near me. Frazier up top. Shot fake, step in. Missed it short. Cockburn, second. Oh, no! The rim is under attack.
You better tell the freshman to put a body on him. You don't put a body on him, you got that.
There are military defense systems that would be breached by that rim attack by Kofi Cockburn. Young skids to a stop, testing the brake pads. That's a great matchup there with Frazier. Harper with 4. Harper into Williams. Harper, no!
What great defense. Williams was there.
He went to the ground and picked up the ball. And Mathis misses. And what do we have? It's a whistle, and it's going against Illinois. Brad Underwood's at midcourt. This is awesome right now.
Omoyiri, he didn't get a body. Oh, he just did. You got to get it. Look at that guy. And if you don't, well, he's going to eat the rim. Look at this. And then on the other end, look at the hustle by Rutgers basketball. Ron Harper on the floor. Mathis going to the rim. Mulcahy's going to rebound it on the other side.
Sneaky big moment there, and great job by the officials not to blow a tie-up, which it's easy to do when a scrum starts. There was no alternating possession as Omoruyi is hurt down on the sideline, and they're going to walk him up. That is bad news for Rutgers, their freshman big.
He twisted an ankle and immediately went to half court.
Young, serves it up.
Left-handed, floats it over the help. You said it, Young's ready, man. Young's ready to go get 30. Young got
back. Staggering. No, Coburn. And a foul, Mulcahy.
That was one of the oddest layups I've seen by Dosunmu. He didn't shoot that to make it. He just popped it. It was amazing. His hand did not go up to the basket to lay it in. He put two hands on it and just shot it and dropped his head and missed. Watch this. Back cut. Watch him shoot this. Two hands. He just pops it.
Yeah.
He didn't make any kind of a jump at all.
I think he was worried about the step to get to the basket.
I do too.
That's way short. Rebound for Dosunmu, and he pops that one up too. It's a rainbow to Frazier. That one's a bullet to Bishanishvili, and Illinois will settle down. Georgie wants it. Okay, he heads it. He spun away from him and got it.
Right shoulder. I know Bishanishvili can go to his left shoulder. I've seen him make jump hooks, but you've got to take away that right shoulder to his left hand.
How about him feeling the help though?
Yeah, and just took it and took it and took it. Good for him. He's had a tough year.
That's a travel.
Same exact thing.
Yep.
Ayo Dosunmu just stayed between Mulcahy and the basket. Watch this. He's just taking it. He's just reading. Quick spin.
A broad look at this game. For anybody who complains about college basketball not being the same, not being as sharp, not being as slick, whatever it might be, turn on this tape and enjoy.
No, this is just great basketball. This is just fun basketball.
Dosunmu nearly traveled, got it back. Ooh. Oh no! One more time! Somebody get a shield for the rim! Kofi is hungry today.
He's dunking it with his head on the entire state of New Jersey. I think T. Franz felt that one.
I think he may have at Tom's River.
Hey, but that's what you do. That is so big what Geo Baker did. Games aren't won always in the last seconds. Big shots aren't always made in the last seconds. Big shots are made when the other team starts feeling good, and Geo Baker just squelched it for Illinois.
All right, so now we're sure Kofi was here.
Yes. Yes, Larry.
Oh. You feel bad for the rim.
Don't help off him.
Studio Creighton on the road, down 2. Damian Jefferson, coach.
This is really good play right there. Get it to Jefferson, who's got a toughness about him. He's one of these two guys that make these buckets, are the two guys Dan Hurley talked to me about today. Two guys that have dog in him that aren't afraid of the moment.
Jefferson sent him to OT. Mahoney put him ahead in OT. They are up 1 right now with just under 2 minutes to go. James Bouknight's got 34, but he's been on that since about 5 minutes to go in regulation. But Eddie, Dan, back to you.
Dallin Cup, thank you very much. Coach Greenberg, thank you as well. Lead is 3, and there's Omoruyi over on the sideline working a stationary bike after turning an ankle, you thought, on a couple possessions ago.
He went right, let's see. Oh, he got it rolled on, and he went right to half court. He was in a lot of pain. Good to see him up and working. There we go.
Miles Johnson came out to the perimeter to play hard, and he got a foul against Young.
See, man.
What do you got?
I thought Young, I think if I go get a steal and I hit the ball first and then there's a collision, I think the foul is not on me. And I thought Young got the ball first. But we play on.
Soldier on into the abyss. Frazier, ball fake, tried to pass. It's out of bounds off Illinois.
You know what I noticed what they're doing with Frazier? They're doing an NBA closeout, meaning they're flying by his left hand. Mathis did there, and making him take a dribble and shoot or make a decision, and that time is turnover.
Forced him to reset, basically.
Yeah, it's an NBA way of closing out. You mentioned Duncan Robinson. That's how you close out to him. You fly by him and move him off his spot. His layup.
Mathis snuck in, and more off the ball movement.
Yeah, just a nice diagonal cut. Mathis, I believe he cut off a Young, and Harper Jr. found him. Wouldn't be bad to go into Georgie here against Harper Jr.
He wanted it. Yeah, he's on the other side now. Geo Baker playing some good defense. Bishanishvili caught it well out in the corner. Now he's going to carve some space. Bishanishvili, no rebound. Johnson.
I'll tell you what's great about that. Johnson never left Coburn. Bishanishvili, you're going to make, go make. But we're not leaving you for another dunk.
Harper catch and shoot. Rutgers first lead from Ron Harper Jr.
Or he just ball screen and then pop back. No switch, no communication, wide open three.
You talk about being ready to shoot.
Yeah.
He was right there.
Yeah. He knew it when he shot it, he was making it. High low.
Miller nearly put two hands on the ball.
I thought he did.
Trent Frazier, senior guard out of the state of Florida, rolls into the lane. That's denied by Johnson. Over the head the other direction. Oh no!
All the way to half court.
Sweet Georgia Brown hits a skip on the record player.
Hey, I'd look at the ball screen again. Make Bishanishvili play 2 possessions here with Ron Harper Jr. Make him play the ball screen.
Montez Mathis. Baker pops out. He sets a screen. 10 to shoot for Rutgers. Mathis weaving. Mathis into the lane. No, sir. Rebound, Bishanishvili. That's tipped ahead and taken away by Rutgers.
Bishanishvili just got lazy. Right-handed little scoop pass, hands active, deflection, steal.
And a lazy pass on 2-on-3 will get you in big trouble, and I believe we have a clock malfunction.
It is not a Big Ten game.
That's what Brad Underwood said. We're going to throw under.
What are you doing?
Yours was a better impersonation.
That's what he did.
Mine was a paraphrase.
Watch this. Right down the lane. Let's see. In transition. Here we go. Right down the lane. It's a half court.
But how about Rutgers basketball right now? There's a guy standing there waiting for the pinball machine to end up in his hands. I mean, right to him. And so a timeout on the floor with the stoppage.
Right, we talked earlier about no crowds, slow down runs. I mean, just imagine this place had that dunk gone. That would have caused Coach here to call a timeout. He's not happy with Adam Miller.
Brad Underwood, when he gets salty, he looks mad. And don't let that fool you. He is a wonderful guy to talk to, and he's a great program builder, but he's got salty face.
He and Gene Katie, best salty face maybe in college basketball history.
And they're similar in the contours of their salty face.
And they're both the nicest guys ever.
Yeah.
I always thought Eddie Sutton had a little bit of that. He had a little salty mush face. He was like,
great Eddie Sutton.
Yeah, the late great Eddie Sutton. What a great coach. Glad to see him going in a basketball Hall of Fame.
You would know mush face.
I got mush face. Got thumb head.
Lead is 2 for Rutgers. Jason Benetti, Richard Mull along with you. Dan Dockich. Now Jacob Young.
Tell you what, Bishanishvili just played great defense on Miles Johnson. Now he's going to have to do it with the ball.
Johnson got knocked off kilter by Bishanishvili.
That was a great defensive possession because that ball was going to Miles Johnson from the time they inbounded it.
Curbelo wanted to wrap around the whole way, and Georgie.
Curbelo is going to be a star in this league. A little too loose sometimes with the ball. Had 9 assists, only 2 turnovers against Minnesota. Go ahead.
They must have seen something on tape about the help defense off drives because they're looking for the drive and handoff to the big all day long.
Yeah, and you know what? You really you kind of, it's a trick bag. You got to stay with the driver and not help off the helper, but Curbelo can get the ball in the bat. This is just good patience. He can get it in the bat. He just waits. You see him throw his head up there. Putting his head up, faked out Johnson and freed up Bashanashvili.
Andre Curbelo, who played for the Puerto Rican national team, winning a bronze medal at under 17. Johnson steps in and gets a foul against Bashanashvili, who thought he had his hands straight up. That's his second foul on Georgi Bashanashvili.
I don't know why that's a foul, unless he reached down, but I thought he was doing exactly what Coach Underwood said. Oh, he said he got him with the body with a push.
He was right here, said Georgie. If you're a basketball fan, you got to read lips. Number one skill for a basketball fan. Hey, Monday Night Football this week. Steelers and Bengals. Steelers on the road trying to help their playoff positioning Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Pacific on ESPN. If there are any Rutgers fans in the Pacific time zone, or Illinois fans out west, why don't we give the Hawaii time zone? Only Kenny Mayne does that. Mulcahy tried to snap it up. Instead, Dosunmu out of the double team.
I think you got to get Dosunmu in the middle of the floor here with this lineup.
Why?
Because he's the best player on the court. It's his most comfortable spot. And frankly, he's got to get going. There's a wraparound again.
Yeah, it's too easy.
Too easy. And Johnson is trying. He can't figure out exactly when to help. And it's not his fault because Geo Baker's getting whipped by Curbelo 2 times in a row. Geo Baker's got to make a defensive stand against a freshman.
Young over the head. Johnson off the spin. That rim's out. And a foul called. It's going to go against Curbelo. And Rutgers comes rushing onto the floor with all sorts of chairs trying to build some energy. Tight one.
Going to get ball screen. Well, don't. Geo Baker is not doing a good job, at least on that possession, of keeping Curbelo in front of him. And then it puts the big guy in a trick bag. Here, it's Mulcahy. He gets screened. Curbelo takes his time. Again, Miles Johnson, as you said, Jason, has no chance because he has to come over and stop a layup. It is not on the big guy. It's on the guard. Get over the screen, get under the screen. Don't touch the screen, but you got to do better.
It strikes me on that last possession, Miles Johnson waited as long as he could.
He did,
by the way.
And did a great job of getting back to his man.
Jacob Young looking for a shot. Johnson went straight up, got it. Geo Baker reload. No, sir.
Geo Baker got excited, and I'm telling you, that's the second time in a row Mulcahy, by going to the backboard, has forced Curbelo to foul him. This is terrific by Mulcahy. He did it earlier. He just sprints, gets in front, draws a foul, a little thing, but that's twice in a row. Now Curbelo's got to come out.
What I love about Mulcahy is he's got hair that shows how hard he's working. It's like flopping all over the place after he gets hit, and so you know he was just on the floor. He was in a scrum.
Yeah, he can play. He can play in any Adam Sandler / Will Ferrell movie.
He's got the rare headband comb over going on. Mulcahy was a tremendous player in high school out of Gil St. Bernard's. 18, 10, and 10 as a senior. He averaged a triple-double.
This is what Steve Peichel does. And I always thought Jim Calhoun did. Yeah, they get a big-time recruit here or there. But Mulcahy is a big-time recruit. I don't give rats what any, these so-called gurus ranked him as. I don't care. That guy's a big-time recruit. He hurt his back. Put a little dirt on it and let's go.
He was the first Jersey player to average a triple-double since 1993. His senior season in high school out of Bayonne, New Jersey, the exit of which you see on the way to the rack, depending on where you're coming from. Dosunmu, floater, got it for an Illinois lead.
Yeah, that's in the middle of the floor. You can't do it. You have Dosunmu on the side, and you let him into the middle. That's just, you're going to get beat.
First points of the second half for Ayo Dosunmu for Illinois. Johnson the screen. Young on the gas pedal, got bumped off by Coburn, and it's Illinois basketball.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out the last 2 possessions for Young. He gets ahead of steam. He goes a little too deep and bounces off. of Coburn. Last time took a bad shot trying to shoot over Coburn.
Jacob Young just became a lobbyist against big official. Larry Scarlet was there shaking his head saying, no, not a foul.
I liked it, too. Good no call.
DeSumo picking his way. He's erased by Johnson, who then threw it to the sideline. He was trying to hit DeSumo and play freeze tag, and he missed.
Well, Johnson had Geo Baker, didn't know it. That kid's played a whale of a game. Johnson is one of the smarter post kids you're ever going to see, and he's tough as heck going body to body with Coburn.
And I know a lot of people say they don't care that they're not starting, and he's not been starting. He seems like a guy that plays like he doesn't care that he's not starting.
Look, it is the rare guy that doesn't care.
Yeah. And so a lot of guys say they don't care, but do care a lot.
Mulcahy, triple-double, assists, scoring, rebounding.
That's right. DeSumo, and that's going to be a pass. If he went up with the shot, they likely would have given him the free throws. Instead, it's a foul on the floor.
Rutgers does not foul. One of the best in the country at not putting the other team on the line. Pretty good at getting their own selves to the line, but I like what DeSumo's doing here. You've got to get, look, road game, Big Ten, stars shine. You got to go.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's trying to get to the middle, but I'm telling you, if I'm Rutgers, every time out, don't let this kid get into the middle.
Not a lot of Coburn here in the second half either. He's trying to seal there. Instead, it's pinballed around and taken by Geo Baker. He knew he had cavalry behind, and he got the stop for Harper.
You know what's great about that, man? I'll tell you what, Rutgers runs. Like, they run. Nobody's loafing. You get a turnover, you're in a sprint. And I thought it was a good no call and a kick, too.
Rutgers went 0-4 to 2019 without a winning season, and they're playing nothing like it. They're playing like they've got a lot of history in the program right now. As Coburn lobs it back in, and it's 2-on-2 now. Harper, and there's going to be no shot.
Oh!
No shot.
Oh!
Hey, Paulie Walnut, settle down.
Oh, is that an and one? I tell you, this is so good. Watch this. This, you just drop it.
See, they got it on the first contact. First contact, your look on your face doesn't buy it.
I like this, though. Throwing it behind you. This time the dunk is finished. But...
Oh!
Oh!
You hear what I said, Tone?
Jamie Siegel? Isn't that her name? Siegel?
The daughter on the show.
The daughter, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be hip.
Jamie Lynn Siegel, something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe? Free throw, good for Ron Harper Jr., who's had a stronger second half, and now a little battling on the lane line. Mulcahy's getting a talking to from Rob Riley. Trying to tell Mulcahy not to play very hard, is not a grand idea. You're not going to get a whole lot of return on investment there.
He and Williams are going at it. Let's watch underneath left side.
Yeah,
Let's
watch
see.
it. Oh, Williams got the first step. Mulcahy gave it to him. He's going to get it back later, though. You know how that works.
Now, key for Rutgers. Got to keep the ball in front of you. If you're Illinois, I'm not mad at getting a right-cornered three for Frazier. Nice back cut.
Ayo DeSumo to finish. I'd love to see this game like 3 times in regular season.
And one again.
That's not a shot.
You little guys.
Excuse me?
Oh, there should be a referee height limit.
Come on with this. This is the worst hypothesis in your bag of tricks.
5'4", 5'6".
You think little officials
5'10".
do what?
They call more fouls.
Okay.
Steve Welmer, the whale.
The tallest official in the world.
The biggest. He would talk through it.
Baker's free throw is good. He'll get a second one. Lead is 2 for Rutgers. You see the foul shooting. Rutgers at 57% is not good at all. Illinois is a little bit better than not good at all.
Yeah, I got to tell you, and I don't understand it because they have good shooters that go to the line. Yeah,
we got a foul on the lane line, and it's going to go against Illinois. Mulcahy was lobbying for it, and he got the foul. Brad Underwood can't believe it.
Well, that was from what you pointed out, the free throw before. Williams gets the foul, taking a shot right here. Let's see, right there.
I told you he was going to get it back, and now they're going to go to the monitor and look for a possible flagrant here. You could see the way Mulcahy, in some Northeast guys who play basketball, and I'm not just saying just Jersey, right? But sometimes you give up a play, and you clearly give up a play to show that you're being the good guy. then you sell it the next time, and he got it right back. I mean, that play has happened a million times in neighborhood games around here and everywhere else across the country. You know what I'm saying.
Before there was replay, you would keep, and this is not right, but this is the way it was. You would keep in your mind if a guy knocked you through a screen, and you would, you wouldn't flop. You would just have in your mind, and you were going to get a cheap shot back in on him.
That's right.
Before we went to replay and all this. Now, it just crushes your team. You see it left side, boom. Now, I think Mulcahy, I don't think he flopped on this. I think he threw his head
elbow to the chin.
Yeah. But that all started possession before, free throw before.
And I got no problem with gamesmanship, but he set him up for that. Mulcahy set Williams up for that.
I don't disagree.
Last time.
No, I don't disagree.
I'm not saying it's a bad play at all. I'm saying you watch that happen, you know something's coming. You know Mulcahy's not the type of guy that just says, you know what, bygones be bygones.
Well,
I love it.
I think it's great. I do think, though, that Williams, I hope he stays in the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a flagrant foul. Would you? I mean, maybe letter of the law because he got him in the chin.
Yeah, I think you have to. We're not down by the court, so they're not going to tell us.
They are going to say flagrant one.
Flagrant one?
Yeah.
I mean,
by the rule, you do.
I think you do.
Yep.
Now, I think Williams is one of the great kids in the Big Ten. I do, and you know what? Sometimes things happen in basketball, and that just, you can't have it at this point because it hurts your team. But I am never for just, hey, look, it's not a contact sport. It is. It's a personal sport.
That's it.
It's a personal sport.
It's a series of one-on-one matchups that shift over the course of the game, and there's history from the jump all the way through the horn. And looking at Williams' face, he knew he got had. Demonte Williams is not normally an over-emotional player.
No, he got caught.
Geo Baker on Coburn. That was slick. Tip no good. Little volleyball for Mathis to finish.
Look at the hustle. That is Rutgers. I mean, you had Baker to the rim. Johnson batting it around. Mathis coming up. That's how Rutgers plays. I'm telling you, it's one of the most connected, hustling teams you're ever going to see.
That was hacky sack with hands for a while. Now Frazier, Illinois suddenly down 7 after not trailing at all in the first half. Miller has not had a strong game. Into Bishanishvili against Mulcahy, who fouled him.
This is Rutgers basketball. They hustle. They're tough. All right, layup doesn't go. Look at Johnson, tip, swats it out, and there's Mathis. You see this so often. I think I charted 6 baskets off of this type of action against Maryland in their Big Ten opener.
Is that right?
Yes, they just get these kind of things. Like a couple plays ago, Coburn saved the ball out of bounds, and it led to a transition. But every Rutgers guy turned their back to their own basket and tried to read Coburn where he was going to throw it. They just have great basketball sense at Rutgers.
Steve Peichel is an outstanding coach. This is not an easy job to rebuild. It's got a great fan base, but not easy to rebuild, and he's done a mammoth job. As we check in the studio, Dallin Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, the top 4 going into the college football playoff. You and I both think that somebody else should be in.
Well, I think Indiana should be in, but what do I know? You think Cincinnati. Cincinnati couldn't score on Indiana.
Did they lose a game? Did they win a championship? Do they have a bunch of seniors and they play great defense? Yeah, absolutely.
They did not play great defense last night against
Okay, it's one game.
Tulsa.
One game. Clemson already lost.
Well, you just can't close your eyes and say the same thing.
Yeah, I can.
Indiana, should be in at least the conversation. They're not even in a 2 years 6 bowl. Great play.
What a fight there by Harper.
Enough football. Great play by Harper.
Look at that. The ball was in midair. He jumped to fight and tangle in midair. And now Rutgers leads by 8.
Unbelievable hands by Harper right there. And basketball sense. You got to help off Bashanis-Vili here.
Coburn just hasn't had a whole lot of touches here in the second half, and that's claimed by Miles Johnson.
How about those hands?
Yes.
I mean, he is the best I have seen. He and Garza at extending, jumping, timing at the top of all of that and rebounding.
You know how you put the little tube into the thing at the bank and it just suctions in?
Yes.
That's what his hands are like. Oh, down low, Johnson.
They have found the matchup they want. Take the ball right, reverse it left. Bashanis-Vili against Harper, 2 in a row.
The lead is 10, the largest lead for Rutgers.
Where's DeSumo?
They just gave it up to Frazier. Here's DeSumo, and he lost the ball. He was moving before he caught it.
Man, that is bad basketball. This is great basketball and great coaching. He found the matchup. First time, it was against DeSumo, who kind of quit on it. And the second time, he just whips Bashanis-Vili. Help is late. Late help means a bucket. Yeah, we got a lot of basketball Christmas Day. The Big Ten's playing 5 games as well, man. I mean, Christmas Day is going to be terrific in the NBA. I can't wait.
How many NBA players in this game?
Good question. I think Coburn is, DeSumo is. I would have a hard time not saying that Harper Jr., I think he is.
Illinois is a little out of sorts. The sink isn't there like we saw in the first half. They only have 15 second-half points.
Well, this is where your All-American has to go get a basket. He's got to play in the middle of the floor. They've got the freshman making plays, and it can't be him. It's got to be this All-American.
Miles Johnson just ripped through for that rebound. That dude.
Telling you, Miles Johnson has been look at the bench waving goodbye to Curbelo. You don't have fans, so the bench is...
Wow. Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. Man, Rutgers, Jersey benches, by the way, Monmouth bench a couple of years ago, now Rutgers bench.
Yeah, watch this. I'm telling you, look at him. He goes back, he blocks out, and he just pulls it away. That kid has been the most valuable player in this game. He's body-to-body with Coburn. He has rebounded. He's been in terrific help side defense, and he's made a bunch of hustle plays.
And he's not a starter.
And doesn't care about it.
Doesn't care. Jacob Young at the free throw line, and Mulcahy again skids off the lane line.
And Williams puts his hands out like, hey, get this guy to stop doing this, right?
Can anybody else be close to me? And now Mulcahy's probably talking about him, but looking at somebody else. He's done that before. Oh, Bashanis-Vili got involved that time.
Well, he got him the first time, and that's, all right, I like this. Don't let Ayo DeSumo give the ball up and not get it back. I like it.
Coburn screen. DeSumo. Frazier. DeSumo again. Coburn. That's how they did it in the first half.
Look, it doesn't let DeSumo be comfortable bringing it up. If he has something, fine. If not, get it back to him and let him make a play.
That was one of those what are we doing possessions.
Kind of, but I think they had it in their mind to do what we were talking about. They wanted DeSumo with the ball
That's
twice.
what I'm saying. What were we doing? What have we been doing? Mathis on the attack, missed the dunk again. Frazier catch and shoot. Here comes Illinois.
Yeah, very good by DeSumo. He took it, had patience, got the ball to the elbow, and found Frazier, who was shot ready.
Frazier just yelled, top of his lungs, get a stop.
2-3 zone. There will be a shot from the top.
Or a lob. Johnson too strong. Mulcahy.
Wow.
Johnson pulled his hand back and scored.
Inexcusable. Inexcusable between Bashanis-Vili and Coburn not to get the second. They literally stood, watched, didn't jump while Johnson made 2 or 3 efforts.
Now Dosunmu wants to go to town, do it himself. Coburn, no. That's good for Dosunmu, and a foul.
Different guys get involved different ways, and one of the ways that Brad Underwood gets Dosunmu involved is by bringing the ball up. When you bring it up, you feel more involved if you're Ayo Dosunmu. You see the help there. Nobody blocks Dosunmu out. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's longer, he gets a bucket.
Third foul on Mathis for Rutgers. He and Young each have 3. Curbello's fouled out. Demonte Williams has 4 for Illinois. It's a 6-point game.
Well, if they stay in this zone, it's a point drop zone with, let's see, they've switched it up now.
Point drop zone meaning what?
Bashanesvili was on top where Williams is now. You see Williams on the top, and he was really dropping down. It's designed to take away the Big Ten, but if you have a guy at the Big Ten and a guy at the top of the key, you'll get a jumper from the top of the key.
Oh, shot ready again, Ron Harper Jr.
But you don't need it. Harper just came back in the game.
He's got a really hair-trigger release. Dosunmu wants the ball. Now Frazier.
Get it back to him.
Dosunmu closed off by Young. He lost Harper for a second and scored.
Get it back to him in the middle of the floor. Great things will happen.
This is where dudes show who they are.
Have to.
Okay, he comes up to screen. Williams fields him, goes underneath, and meets Baker again.
Okay, he needs to come into the Big Ten.
Oh, Young found a crease and slid it in.
Instead, they're bringing him to the Big Ten, and he's setting a little ball screen. Problem with the zone. When you get ball screen, you're lazy. You think you've got help because it's a zone. There is no help.
Coburn was sitting down, and Johnson called for the foul.
Watch the screening in this zone. Mulcahy is doing a terrific job of screening the zone. Watch him, there's your ball screen. It forces a 2-on-1 on the side. Coburn is late. Here comes the screen on the other side. Right here, Young Williams gets caught. No help by Dosunmu. Layup. Well, hustle wins, and you're seeing a ton of it. And what I like about Rutgers' hustle is it turns into points. You see a 3 there. Look at that hustle by Mulcahy. Mulcahy and number 15, Johnson, have been tremendous, and this was a huge play. This was a 4-point play with the flagrant 1 foul. And then here, watch this. Watch, 2 bigs in. Bashanesvili, Coburn are in. Where you at? Miles Johnson and Mulcahy have been the MVPs of this game for Rutgers.
The energy Rutgers has shown from those guys, etc., is usually what you see from Illinois when they're playing well, especially on the defensive end. 9-point lead for Rutgers. Ayo Dosunmu off of Bashanesvili screen. Coburn got fouled. Johnson thought he was straight up. Instead, it's number 3 on Miles Johnson.
Miles Johnson got stepped over, and Bashanesvili did a really good job of finding Coburn, but it also illustrates why it's hard to play Bashanesvili and Coburn together, because Bashanesvili has to be able to make a 3. If he can make a 3, this team just way opens up.
How about Mulcahy and Bashanesvili talking? I don't know that Bashanesvili is thrilled about how much Mulcahy's talking, but they're talking to each other, and Mulcahy was talking over him to Miles Johnson. There's some fun on the free throw line going on.
Let's take a look.
Coburn missed it. Johnson clears it. Another rebound for Miles Johnson, number 13.
50-50 Luke's ball. Rutgers gets it. Back to man-to-man. Here comes Geo Baker to the top. Oh no, Young read it.
With 10, Johnson shows screen, went the other way on Frazier. Frazier didn't recognize it, and Young beat him.
That play was set for Geo Baker to set a screen, receive a screen. Young said, no, I'm sprinting to go get the ball because he felt it and got it done.
Frazier got the flyby. Frazier to step through. It's DeMonte Williams. Needs it, got it.
Boy, great play by Frazier. You're right. They recovered. We talked about this earlier. They're sprinting past and recovery to make Frazier put the ball down. And Frazier did a great job of taking it deep, drawing, finding.
Great pass to set up the three as well.
Yeah, all right, both ways. Young just came and sprinted, wanted the ball, and look, he put Coburn on skates, and Frazier couldn't get there. And then down here, this is terrific. Just keeps probing, draws the defense wide open, and DeMonte Williams drills it.
But you see a big play with confidence like Miles Johnson. That started as a screen right, and then it went left. He was out in front. He changed the side of the screen on the fly. And
let's talk about that. That is how connected these two teams are. And both would do it. Like, if they would do that for Frazier, they would do that for DeSumo. But Miles Johnson and Young, there's a connection that they just know where a guy wants to go. They read the defense and make the right movement.
Yeah, that's not box checking. That's fluidity.
No, that's just knowing each other and knowing strengths and reading the defense. Same thing here to get Mulcahy to the top. Nope, this is going to be Young again.
Harper turned it down. Harper the drive. Harper scored!
All right, that was fake. It was a set, a traditional set. You end up with a double on the other side. Fine. That double rose the defense, took everybody playing the double, and it cleared it out for one-on-one for Harper. Fantastic. Same move.
They're going to get a foul. Frazier into Geo Baker. Basket will not count.
Watch all the action on the right side, and look how everybody's up. There's nobody under the basket, and again, when you are late to help, buckets get scored. What should happen, Jason, the double screen, staggering. First screener, his man should be under the basket. Second screener's man should be extending. Illinois all messed up, too high, too ball-oriented, bucket.
Foul here was the third on Mulcahy. Frazier going to the free throw line, and now they're going to go to the monitor and take a look at this foul again to see a possible flagrant foul, I believe. We will check and see. Mulcahy's saying I was straight up. I didn't do anything. Rutgers, by the way, for the first time in program history, and this is a program with a lot of history dating back to 1906 in terms of this number. It's the first time they've won their first 5 all by double figures, so they're not messing around either. They're 1-0 in the Big Ten off the win against Maryland by 14 and trying to really blow the doors off Illinois by the end of the season.
Syracuse is involved in that as well.
Yep.
Rutgers beat Syracuse by double digits. I'm glad there was no call there because there wasn't. It wasn't a flagrant.
Not many people beat the Syracuse Carmelo Anthony championship team, but Rutgers did in this very building with Jerome Coleman and Hervé Lamazana et al.
Had to be a billet on that team.
There were a lot of billets. Jeff Billet. Second free throw is good for Frazier. It's a 7-point game, but a lot of time left. 2:27 to go.
Key here for Illinois. Man to man, keep your man in front of you. Because if help has to come, guess what? The backboard is open. Who's going to run and get it? Baker.
Too far out to take the shot. DeSumo with him. There's the double to try and force some action. Baker on the kick. Harper ready. Harper again!
You said it. Quick trigger. That ball barely stays in his hand.
Baker the help on Coburn, who scores ahead of the help.
Well, that was really nice. Yeah, you got to pick up full court. You know what? Rutgers is too comfortable.
It's a foul on Frazier.
It's just a matter. This time it was Baker getting the high screen. He drives it towards the shooter. Just a little bit of help. Williams is playing pretty good. He fake traps, gets there. Harper just too good. Really, it was textbook by Williams. He moved the side of his body that's nearest the ball handler to what's called fake trap. Got back to the shooter. shooter just made it.
2 free throws for Rutgers and Young. They're a 57% foul shooting team, and that's got to clean up.
Yeah, I don't understand it either, because these are good-looking strokes, particularly this kid in Baker.
Jacob Young with some tough talk for himself. Second free throw is good. And a timeout called by Rutgers. 2 left. 1 left for Illinois. Steve Peichel, former baseball catcher in his own right, played a lot of sports growing up, one of 9 kids. Last year, 20-11, likely an NCAA tournament team. There was no NCAA tournament team. Best start since 1935. Bob Wenzel, our former colleague, was the head coach in 1991. Last time Rutgers went to the NCAA tournament.
Well, they had a terrific coach here in Gary Waters. Gary Waters was going to get them into the tournament. They pulled the plug on him too early, and the program, frankly, really struggled. But, man, you see the keys to success, right? Recruiting for the system. That's Mulcahy. You know, that's Johnson. Player development. Hard-nosed play. That's every guy out there. I'll say player development. Look, that's Ron Harper Jr. There is nobody, I don't care who they are, that thought Ron Harper Jr. would evolve into a top 10 scorer nationally.
Yeah, I don't.
Speed limit of 65.
Well, they got to go fast. They play fast. Turnpike traffic doesn't let you do it very much. You got to do it on the basketball court. 9-point lead for Rutgers. To the corner, it's DeMonte Williams to drop in a 3, and Illinois is not done with 90 seconds to go. You're not going to foul yet, are you?
Not yet. They got to get it across. Now you foul. Oh, they were trying. Boy, were they trying.
Harper now doubles back. Now it's late enough in the shot clock you might not foul.
Well, if Miles Johnson gets it, they're going to foul, but Miles Johnson isn't getting it.
Geo Baker, 3rd game of the year, dealing with an ankle injury. Baker step back. Geo Baker, no. Bench wanted a foul, didn't get it. Lead is 6 for Rutgers, a minute to go. Grandison didn't take the 3. Instead, Drew Williams for Frazier. That's no good. Dosunmu snuck in there, and it's a 4-point ball game, and Illinois uses its final timeout with 50 seconds to go. And again, Rutgers going to have to make free throws to win this ball game.
Rutgers got frazzled a little bit, and this is the hardest Illinois has played on the backboard. Look at everybody up there. Dosunmu with his 11th rebound. Look, if you're Rutgers, I'm getting Miles Johnson out of there, and we're just going to spread it. 4-point lead. We'll take the 30 seconds. Best thing that could happen, obviously, is a basket at the shot clock buzzer. A foul late. Or, you know what the third best thing is?
What's that?
An out-of-bounds turnover. Like, here's what happens, and this is something coaches are starting to talk about. Late in the clock, you're running clock, let's just say for the sake of argument, it goes down. You jack up a 3 because, you know, shot clock's going down. Long rebound means bucket on the other end. It doesn't hurt you if you're Rutgers to make a turnover, throwing it out of bounds at the end of the clock, but Illinois is going to pressure and then foul once it gets past half court.
You know, Mathis isn't a very good free throw shooter. He's 9 for 18 coming in this year. Harper has been surprisingly poor compared to where he normally is. Jacob Young's been a pretty good free throw shooter, and today he's 5 for 6. Mulcahy's 4 for 4. Baker's 2 for 2. But 17 for 26 as a group is just not going to cut it in close ball games.
Johnson's out. So the guy to foul really is Mathis, 50%.
Trap then foul?
Yeah, I think so. But they don't have anybody here trapping.
No, Young smoothly through, and now it's going to be Mulcahy on the catch. And he's fouled. So Paul Mulcahy fouled by Williams, and that, after all they've been through, is the final move for Williams. He's the guy that fouls out here after a couple other guys didn't give a foul.
Yeah, they didn't have any trap. That was just inbounds, bring it across. I thought Illinois, and Brad Underwood has been a very good trapping coach over the years. I thought they would have a similar trap to what they did with Mulcahy previous possession. They didn't, and there was no resistance.
So Adam Miller comes in. Demonte Williams is done. Curbelo has fouled out as well. So Illinois is thin at the guard spot compared to where they normally are. Mulcahy's free throw is good. 8 Eastern tomorrow night. Tulsa and Memphis.
5-point game. If he misses this, there is no need for a crazy three. You drive it as fast as you can and go lay it in. And if you get fouled, great. Now here, you might look at a three. And if you can get anything with Frazier in the right side, that's what you want, or drive it towards the Sumo.
6-point game. Frazier down the middle. Frazier against Johnson, who scores.
That keeps you alive.
Johnson came in to play defense for Mulcahy and a near turnover, and that's a foul as Geo Baker was scooting across midcourt, barely with possession of the ball.
Well, that's a lot to ask your big guy to take the ball out under the basket. You take it out, kids, late game, you take it out. You don't get under the basket. It restricts how high you can. Go to one side or the other, find your best ball handler and stuff it into him.
Geo Baker this year, with the injury he dealt with, the ankle, has taken just 4 free throws. He's 3 for 4 this year. First one is good. A young man who committed to Rutgers a couple of months before Steve Peichel arrived. He is one of the guys who's been through so much, trying to get to 6-0. He missed the second one, coming down to 30 seconds.
Take it to the rim.
Miller pulls up. Miller banked it, no, and that's not the shot they were looking for. Sumu a foul, and Harper's going to the free throw line. The freshman got a little excitable there.
He did. Of all the guys on the court, that was the last guy, he and Grandison, that you wanted to shoot a forced up three. Now you go make these and the game's over. And that's why I say, you know, people make fun of me all the time because I say you just need points. Well, you saw it with Frazier. You just got to keep points and hope that they miss a free throw to make it a 1-point game or 1-possession game at some point.
We were talking at halftime about how quiet Ron Harper Jr. was in the first half, and now suddenly he's got himself basically a 20-point second half.
He's a great player. He is a great player, fantastic teammate, and one of the truly good stories in college basketball, his improvement.
Trent Frazier, and a foul call. Johnson went down to the deck, and Miles Johnson called for his 4th personal foul. Hey, big guys aren't built for crossovers like that. Again, just the 9th foul against Rutgers. You talked about it. They play clean team defense.
They do. And again, using the comparison to John Beilein, nobody's teams fouled less, he and Bo Ryan, than Beilein. Nobody's teams turned it over less. Bo Ryan's teams and John Beilein. This is exactly who that guy reminds me of as a coach, a teacher, an adult male role model. You know what I mean? Like, he is just the kind of guy that you want your kid to play for, because he's even keel but tough, just a teacher, you know. And I always felt that way about John Beilein.
A lot of people around here feel that way about C. Vivian Stringer, Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Head basketball coach for so long on the women's side.
Absolutely.
2 free throws good for Frazier. 1,000 wins for C. Vivian Stringer, and then some. Great Cappy Pondexter played here. Foul called. Young is going to the free throw line. Steve Peichel, I mean, if not for a Christian Laettner Elite 8 make to beat Connecticut in the Meadowlands, Steve Peichel could have had himself a championship back in 1990. You never know.
If the dog didn't stop to take it, you know what? He'd have caught the rabbit.
How was the play? Everybody remembers Laettner's buzzer beater a couple years later. Laettner beat UConn in the Elite 8 2 years prior.
That was Tate George.
Tate George.
Hit the jump shot in the corner.
Yep.
And Laettner just was breaking hearts.
Tate George had a near intercept on the sideline that could have ended the ball game. Instead, out of the timeout, Kay drew up the play, and Laettner won it, and there's a free throw for Young.
Well, I got to tell you, man, Michael Young, his kids are really good players. Like, Jacob is terrific, and Jacob really kept this whole thing afloat. What do you think? No, I knew it was Jacob.
Yeah.
He was. And Joe Young, I watched him with the Pacers, just a terrific guy.
Yeah.
Going back to 80s basketball, that Phi Slamma Jamma.
Go watch Phi Slamma Jamma at some point. 15 seconds left in this one. Rutgers looks like it's going to go to 6-0. Jasumu, the floater. It would take a miracle in Middlesex County right now. It's a 5-point game. 9.9 to go.
Don't let it in. Don't let it in.
High lob, batted and pulled down by Harper, and foul. Oh, that,
Man, I'll tell you what, you get that steal, you hit a three, now they got to make free throws. What you're trying to do, and this is why Miller's shot was bad, what you're trying to do is to get, you're trying to make Rutgers have to make free throws in a one-possession game, meaning you're down 2. Make 2 free throws and make it 2. You're down 3, got to make a free throw. And then Illinois, by taking that one bad shot, really, Rutgers didn't have to do it.
free throw, no good. Hey, Rutgers fans who haven't had a lot to celebrate in their lifetimes are saying, oh, don't lose this game. Please don't. Make a free throw.
I'll tell you this, I went last night and got dinner downtown. Rutgers, New Brunswick, reminds me of Madison. It's a great little town.
Yeah,
great town.
Love it here.
Great town.
6-point game.
I recommend the Oyster Bar.
Jasumu off the spin. Grandison got it for 3, so it's a 3-point win for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights at home against Illinois. Steve Peichel's team is 6-0. They were 1-0 in the Big Ten for the first time ever. Now they're 2-0 for the first time ever, and all these cutouts of the greats in Rutgers history are thrilled. The rack would be pumped if people were in here.
And they should be, because this is a nationally prominent team now. This is a monster win for a program that is trying to continue to put itself into public conscious. And I got to tell you, this is one of the best teams in college basketball. I thought it before the game. I think it more now.
They got every piece you'd need.
And they're tough as heck.
Last I saw you, we were doing the Horizon League Finals. Let's hope it's not 9 months again, because we got Horizon League basketball coming up. The Penguins and the Norse. Youngstown State, Northern Kentucky. He's Dan, I'm Jason. Jordan Burnfield, David Padgett in Kentucky. Take it away.